This time around, T1 do not have the Gragas cast to disrupt G2, and they are still going to be vulnerable to these Orianna Nocturne combinations that now even have a bit better of follow-up with Kai'Sa on the team.
To try and push out that wave, G2 brought Hans and Mickey into mid to try and get the shove there as well. The problem for G2 is if they do look for an engage, Zeus still has the TP where Caps does not. So this could very quickly turn into a 5v4. Broken Blade very low on rage as well, starting to build it up as he jumps onto Oner. He's only a third of the way there so far. Oner going lower though, Dustbringer coming out, double flash as Mickey looked for the flash hook. Meanwhile in the bot lane, Caps trading up with Zeus. Carrier going back in, Faker with the Spirit Rush, has 2 charges left. G2 need to get away because Faker can look for another Spirit Rush, another Orb of Deception. Won't find too much more. G2 start up the grubs. They're quite hurt though. Half HP on Yike. Broken Blade building up towards that Mega, looking for an arm into the wall if anyone advances through that choke point.
I love G2's calls there, playing for damage. You saw Caps down here actually poking out Zeus, and then immediately jumping on the 2 separated in river to just play for some health bars to be able to get yourselves the objectives first. The small chunks in damage allow them the opening.
Just one of the best League of Legends we can see. T1 here will be able to get the Drake. G2 really shouldn't fight this because Broken Blade TP'd up to the top lane only a few moments ago. If they try to invest, obviously Zeus can join the battle and they would be at a numbers disadvantage again. They won't battle against it. See Yike just hovering Hans Summer and Mickey in case anything does happen, but with Guma and Carrier backing away.
Grubs are rough, but it looks like they're just going to shift Faker up towards that top side. I wasn't sure if they just went all in on trying to burn that flash, but Mickey...
Oh, Faker goes in with the Spirit Rush, the Charm landing as well, and Mickey is done for. First blood in the first 2 games. Mickey dies, Oner takes the kill.
You've now burnt both Faker's ult and Oner's ult right before the Void Grub spawns, so I'm not going to say it was a planned good death, but could actually work out as a decent death here for G2 when they do actually go to try and contest on towards those next round of Void Grubs.
It's interesting because Broken Blade doesn't have teleport, but Oner's actually heading towards Broken Blade rather than the Void Grubs.
Yeah, he's looking for this play down towards the bottom side. Broken Blade flashes immediately met with a fist in his face. Broken Blade trying to get away from this. Obviously, has to try and escape from Oner, who flashes forward. Another Vault Breaker. Broken Blade trying to dodge it. Oner holds it forever. Oner finds another as Broken Blade can't escape his clutches.
There was no escape there. Oner waiting over the wall. Broken Blade tried to sidestep it, but good call from Oner, just hold on. But still on the opposite side, Void Grubs galore. And it will be, I imagine Zeus starting to put a bit of pressure here to answer for some of the third places. Faker, no way he catches Mickey again.
You put everyone on pause when you said that. Everyone's like...
Oh, Mickey looking for the hook here. So Yike can come in with the paranoia. There's the depth charge as well to chase forward. Kerry has joined his mid laner. Faker flashes away. The ignite ticking on him won't be enough. There's the stun into the shield of the Wraith. Daybreak into the solar flare into the death of Yike. Rob, your no was heard around Europe. They were so close, but they just couldn't quite find the damage to kill off Faker.
So good vision toggle by the observers.
And then the engage comes through from Mickey, and it's a nice setup. Carry here to try and help, but oh, bot side.
Oh, Zeus flashes away. He's hit with a house. And Caps and Broken Blade find a kill. Carrier's looking to collapse here as well as Gumayushi, but this tower is already quite low, down to 1 plate remaining on it. Carrier going in with the Zenith Blade. Gumayushi there with the Deadly Flourish as well. Broken Blade still pretty tanky though. Yike's here to join the fray. Has the paranoia. Can't go into Guma, but there's a flash and a barrier on that AD carry, making it a little bit more suspect to go for the dive. Mickey and Hans are starting to collapse, and this will be first tower over to G2.
Faker even dropped off that top tower, trying to move down to see if he can cover the mid lane, so then G2 can't always just push in towards mid as well. But G2 are on the bot side. Zeus TP's top to get the top turret as well. A huge amount of this go back and forth thanks to these plays.
Still, I think it's a hugely beneficial kind of response from G2 because they get their bonus first turret.
No big surprises there. Broken Blade trying to hide in the top lane. He's going to TP away. Will he escape? You can see it on the minimap. The Counter-Strike finds him alongside the cease and desist, and Broken Blade doesn't have a hope in hell of escaping this one. Zeus leaps on his base and takes another 4-1 now to T1.
It's interesting that they have such a bounty on Broken Blade's head, it feels like. Not in a literal sense, but they've got a target on his back. T1 keep on going for these assassination attempts onto Broken Blade. It's almost like when they gave up the 6 grubs, they were saying, you are not going to have a split pusher that can use these. We're going to make sure of it because while we did give up the 6 grub buff, you know, we killed Broken Blade when we did that, and then we're going to keep looking for kills on him and try and really put that Gnar behind to the point that Zeus is going to be able to control side lanes. Faker is going to be able to
Another
get
charm
hits.
hits once again. Mickey thought he was safe in his own jungle, but there is nowhere safe from T1, and this is the moment in the game, in game 1, where we saw T1 begin to explode it away from G2's grasp. You can see already 2,500 gold ahead. Now with the Rift Herald charging through mid, they're going to open up the map and make it so much more tricky for G2 to do anything. Charm wide there by Faker, but he's just creating space. The Solar Flare hits, Hansama has to burn the cleanse, and Zeus is on the flank. The counter strike, Hansama flashes it. Rift Herald charge forward, Zona can jump across that wall and look for Hansama. Yike with a fear, only onto Zeus. They're looking for the damage, the Shockwave will find him. Hansama surviving up towards the top side for as long as he can in the face of Ona, but now he's down and Kerry is down alongside him. G2 find 2, they lose their mid-tier 1. Can they find anything more? I think
And that's where exactly where you want it. The big shockwave plays are going to be the ones that you need to try and leverage yourself back into this game. You have the Nocturne delivery. We'll see if they're able to make something. It won't be now because, of course, they're splitting and trying to grab tower first.
I think it still will be a little tough for G2 though, because Caps has gone for this more defensive build. Upping in towards the Zhonya's first means he doesn't really have that big firepower. I think it's the correct way to go because there's a lot of threat here with the dive from Owner and Faker and even Kerry being able to follow up, but it does mean that you just lack that oomph in your ultimate for this Orianna.
At the moment, T1 in control of the game, about 3,000 gold ahead. A Drake Capice means there's no soul point soon, but we see Caps pushing in the top lane and the TP behind. Zeus on the collapse, has the flash. Caps goes one way, Zeus goes the other. Now he tracks back, knowing that Caps is there. The paranoia coming out as Mickey and Yike look to collapse. A flash away from the shockwave from Zeus is gorgeous. And once again, Zeus in this series puts G2 in their place.
So they definitely have some really good looks here.
Eevee's just finished his Mega now and he's gone in.
He still gets the Gnar into the wall. The backline, Gumayusi flashes away. The shockwave, I think, maybe a little bit early there as Broken Blade is forced low. Spirit Rush forward by Faker as T1 begins to collapse. And Mickey's burst on the menu again. Faker with a Spirit Rush across the wall, looking for Yike. No curtain call connects, and G2 are able to walk away.
Great target selection from T1. They see that Broken Blade is about to go mini-Gnar.
Just massive from Team 1. As you say, that flash timing from Gumayusi, absolutely perfect. They're looking for the third Drake. Onan will go back towards it. They were just kind of checking to make sure that G2 hadn't snuck towards the Baron to try and take that away, while T1 were getting themselves to 2 dragons in this game.
Timing really has been the biggest advantage for T1. I feel like not only the defensive kind of timing there with the flash, but also they never hesitate on their engages.
So I think it's more, as you can see, like losing side lane turrets for investing on that bottom side. And again, T1 playing off wave states excellently, pushing mid, catching out G2, and now G2 trying to move in mid, but they could get collapsed on from behind.
There's a pincer movement brewing here.
Teleport.
See the TP behind, that's
Faker.
Faker. Counter TP being used by Broken Blade. Curtain call coming in as the stopwatch is used. Dion onto the backline, jumps Gumayusi, a good shockwave as well onto Zeus. And now we see Hansama having to try and get away from this. Owner going in as he puts the damage down onto Caps. Owner flashing away, Zeus the same, the killer instinct from Hansama. Gets Zeus in response, now Faker diving around the fight, a hook coming out. Broken Blade trying to get into the Mega Gnar. He'll jump on their heads. Gooba stopped them, Faker escaping. Carrier slammed into the wall. On the top side, Yike killed off Gumayusi. And G2 somehow behind a fight.
Only Faker gets out alive. G2 are going to get some extra money with the tower mid, and Faker just barely does so. Broken Blade hunting for him, but he's not going to find the hiding spot. G2 strike back.
Paranoia to get that little bit of extra vision. I love the not using the shockwave, but immediately they do. Paranoia in, Faker down, Solar Flare onto the backline as well. We see Hansama falling for it. Mickey trying to get into this fight. Broken Blade on his way across as well. Carrier, Owner there as well with Gumayusi trying to get away. Doesn't have the flash. Owner doesn't. Carrier goes back in with the Zenith Blade. He's a sacrifice. A sacrificial lamb for G2. As there's 2 more on the board for them.
Keep the pace up. G2, they do not let you rest. Are forced to make a decision here. Is it going to be a dangerous face check, or are they going to try and get control of the mid wave first?
Mickey looking for the hook. There's the charm. Deadly Flush going in. Owner looking for that back line. The Solar Flare hits 2. Paranoia coming out. Owner can't go in with the engage. Zeus now locked out. Pops the stopwatch to buy himself a little bit of time. He's feared though. The shockwave hits onto Owner as he looks for the engage. Goes in with the cease and desist. The Guardian Angel still sitting on Owner's shoulders. Will bring him back to life. Broken Blade with a good double Gnar into the wall. Owner trying to get back in with that shield from the Vault Breaker. But he will fall. Faker can't escape Broken Blade. Gumayusi now trying to dance his way away. But the eyes are on Carrier for G2. They're looking for one more. Gumayusi will have the fleet, will have the move speed from this Jhin. Broken Blade chucks a house out, can't quite land it. Onto Guma's back. Caps with the dissonance. There's the slow from the red buff. They dodge the captive audience, and Guma's down 2. An ace for G2.
Be a G2 Baron.
Now, you said it in game 1, Kobe. G2 great at fighting from behind, and here we see them coming to life in Berlin, looking to get themselves to 1-on-1 against T1 in this quarterfinals qualification match.
For that big shockwave as well. And it's after that, again, just moving back, buying space here as BB using that ultimate.
Formation of the Gnar as well. Now with the Baron buff, they can get so many rewards. Tier 2 tower doesn't stand a chance. That's another 800 gold for the team, immediately picked up. Void Mites from their 6 Void Grubs spawning out.
Faker being forced back to the fountain, has the flash, has the TP, but G2 are trying to open up the base. Owner looking for that flank. His GA not back off cooldown yet, about half the way forward. Inhibitor tower and inhibitor for G2 in the top lane. They take a gold lead for the first time in what feels like the series, at least in the last 30 minutes or so.
Is in this top side trying to shove in. They sent Ari to try and help him out, so looking to go for that cross map. Just G2 though, dropping, only playing off of 2 waves. Now the reset comes through for Broken Blade. He has no TP, so T1 maybe looking for the TP ward that's right in behind them.
So much threat. So we'll see here. You even have another stasis built by Hansama. It's just so durable for G2. They're just bullying them.
Solar Flare, Hansama dodges, only gets slowed. Broken Blade goes in with an arm only onto Owner. Zeus is TP'd in behind, and he dives onto Hansama immediately. And Hansama has the stopwatch, but he doesn't have much life left afterwards. He manages to get away with the kill of Instinct, and Mickey and Caps are only down. Owner face plants the wall this time. Broken Blade left it to his own devices, and T1 clean him up. The flash in from Zeus with a counter-strike. Mickey trying to dredge line his way out of this one, but Faker's on the chase, as is Carrier. And Mickey, those hooks are sending you to Davy Jones's locker. Faker will take it. T1 will take the fight.
Mickey is gone 6 feet under, but G2 cannot fathom how T1 have got in behind them so consistently. It was a delay played on the TP. It's a delay take on Mickey because 50 seconds until Dragon will deny a lot of control to G2. But T1, again, these great teleport flanks for Zeus.
To go get Caps, they do chase down Hansama, and the Dragon's Soul is theirs to set up. Wait, Zeus has hiding once again. Look at him.
You can see Mickey's only just getting up towards where the red buff is. The paranoia comes out. It's Guma that secures the Drake. Now looking up towards the top side, Zeus caught out with the paranoia, gets the counter-strike, but there's the fear as well. The killing instinct coming in from Hansama as they look to catch out Zeus. The rest of T1 trying to come back to defend their top laner, but Zeus will be down before they can get there. G2 find one. On the doors of the Nexus now is T1 trying to defend.
Shockwave is still up and available for Caps. You have to be so careful as T1 as you try to defend this. How much do G2 want to try and take super minions on the top side as well?
It's so big. 3 inhibitors here. You're going to get... well, can they get 3?
Top just respawned as they were taking the second one, so it looks like it's only going to be 2. All Owner needs to do is get into this pit, and he might be able to snipe this away. The curtain's open. An encore for Guma Yushi. Owner gets it. He gets it! And he takes it! Owner will pay the ultimate price for his ability to steal the Baron. He keeps T1 in the game, and G2 just couldn't dot their I's and cross their T's. The tankiness the minions get from the Baron buff, they'll be spawning in a few seconds time for T1. There they are. They'll help them defend. Faker goes in. Death charge. Shockwave. There's 2 knocked up, but Zeus is already on the back line. The Gnar coming out from Broken Blade as well. Zeus is doing so much work. Caps down. Hansama running for his life. Faker charms up Broken Blade. Zeus is just ripping through G2. Faker survives on the backline. Yike trying to do everything he can. The paranoia will help him take out his enemy jungler. Hansama trying to survive here. Zeus has to call off the chase, but T1 once again hold on to the game. Zeus has his TP and he's going to match the supers pushing in the top side. G2 have control of the river right now. Solar Flare, Hansama only slowed. The Caps is the one they dive into and immediately assassinate him. Caps is swimming with the fishes and Hansama is going to join him. T1 immediately pounce and G2 don't know what hit him.
T1 are forever clutch and G2 are finding out about it in the worst possible way. Zeus chasing down Broken Blade as T1 turn towards the outer Yike. The last one was stolen. Can you find revenge?
A vision in the pit. Guma Yuchi trying to keep him at bay. No paranoia for Yike, but does have the flash. Guma will take the blast cone. Yike, can you do it? We saw you steal one versus Hanwha live. He puts the Dustbringer over the wall and immediately backs away. G2 have called, do not fight this fight, we can take the next.
And they use the blast cone to jump onto Caps' head. Even with these defensive items we keep pointing out for G2, the Guardian Angel and Sterix for Yike.
Their world title.
A minute left on this Elder Dragon as well means that 2 more waves that you have to try and hold off. But I don't even know if you get that. Team 1 can just start to look at Nexus turrets off this wave.
It's got to be something miraculous. You've got a GA on Gumayushi, you've got Faker with the Spirit Rush, the curtains open. I don't think G2 is getting a second act. The dive onto the backline by Yike, but immediately he is low. Caps already assassinated on the back, and T1 are just ripping them to shreds. T1 absolutely melting G2 under their Nexus towers. History doesn't repeat itself, but it damn well rhymes. It's another Friday, it's another T1 win.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup at the Swiss stage of Worlds 2024. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.